Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakat Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops and the elders of GMS rules well. Peace and salutation to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is Interior Secretary Warns of Power Outage Risk in the U.S. Right, and this is just basically going into the news, blowing a trumpet on this, right? So I looked it up. This is kind of fresh news. Actually, they're saying it's posted tomorrow. So this is from the East, Europe area, France, and all of that. So because today is the 3rd, so so I looked it up. So it's kind of fresh. I looked it up and couldn't really find it too many places, but this Interior Secretary Doug Burgum basically said there would be power outages in the summer of 2025, and he said that on Fox News, and that's where these articles quoted it from. So this is a warning because these devils are warning of power outages risk in the summer of 2025, and it's like, okay, so why is that? What's causing the power outage, or just many questions that can come to your mind, but ultimately Esau Edom is going to come down with great wrath, and he's trying to find some way somehow to do that, right? Because their motto is order out of chaos, right? Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right, so Esau Edom is going to try every which angle to bring down the system, to issue in his new system, and that's the time we're living in. Esau is moving with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. Trump, every day, this cruel Lord, pursuant to Isaiah 19, is signing executive orders to bring in their new world order, basically. And a lot of these executive orders are being signed now, but when they hit the button, when they stop kicking the can down the road, everything will be in place to do everything they need. Just recently, I did a video about them militarizing the police, right? That executive order is not going away. You're thinking, or people might think, oh, they're militarizing the police for the ICE incident or the migrants or whatnot. No, when they shut down the road, the police, if they're going to be there, they'll be there to militarize the people too. So a lot of these things that they're doing is just setting the stage for what they need to do. And basically what they need to do is total destruction. And this could be one of the intents that starts that. We're looking for what is it? Daniel 12:1. It says the time of the end, and that's exactly where we're at, right? The warnings is going out, right? Hey, the day of the Lord is nearer than when you believe. Each day we get closer. Elder Apostle Tahar, says we're counting down the months. Daniel 12:1. It says, in that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince. At what time? The end. It says, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Right, and that goes into what? The whole elect. And what time is this talking about? Jacob's trouble. Let me grab that. Lucky. All right, Slacky, I forgot where the precept for this was at, but I got it right here. Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30:5, it says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It's even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right. So this period of testing, right? This issuing forth of the MOTB, Esau Edom turning off the lights in America, Babylon the Great to bring forth his new world order is the time of Jacob's trouble. It's the testing period that Yahweh has basically put in the mind of Esau to do towards it's basically his elect, because only his elect is gonna make it through that test. The rest of our nation are gonna be destroyed. So again, it says the last of that day is great, so that none is like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So that's what we're looking toward to, basically, because these things must come to pass, so Yahweh Shai can return. So this is one way that it can happen. Interior Secretary warns of power outage risk in U.S. in summer of 2025. Now, we're about to enter summer soon, and it's 2025 right now. It says the United States may face a large-scale power outage as early as this summer. Doug Burgum, the U.S. Secretary of the Interior, warned, right? APA report citing Fox News. So this APA, reported this because this dude said it on Fox News, which I searched up the Fox News, but I couldn't find it. So I got three, articles here where they're saying the same thing. U.S. President Donald Trump on day one declared a national energy emergency in the energy sector. Burgum told Fox News in an interview, "We've got huge challenges on electrical power generation. We saw what happened this past week in Spain, which was a test, right? The powers went out in Spain for a short period of time. I did a video on that. They test the people, and then they turn the power back on. And now all of a sudden, this is talking about the same thing can happen in America, just like how they keep throwing, stuff out there. All of a sudden, planes is falling out of the sky, trying to think of another thing that it was just weird, It says, we saw what happened this past week in Spain that could be happening in America yet. Read that again. It says, we saw what happened this past week in Spain that could be happening in America yet, even this summer, because the Biden administration rules put our grid at such risk, he said. Right. So, I haven't seen too many power outages. I believe it was some, things like your cell phone power going out, they blame it on towers and all of that. So all that can play a factor when they shut down the power, right? They're just this is another article, which I can't read the whole thing because they want me to sign up for it, which I don't want to do. It says the United States is at risk of a Spanish-style electricity meltdown. Only the Trump administration's moves to create a more resilient energy system are likely to avert that disaster. Right, and it's likely that disaster can't be averted because it's something they want. Okay, so they letting me read it now, which is crazy. It says Spain declared a state of emergency earlier this week after the country's electricity supply went down due to cascading failures blamed on possible faults in two solar plants in the country's southwest region. Americans should not be complacent. Right, hey, that's good. Yeah, you shouldn't. Hey, the warning's going out because this is coming. Esau coming down with great wrath, right? Americans should not be complacent. However, the same could happen in the United States too. It says Spain has been ramping up solar power for years and set a record of meeting nearly 80% of demand on April 21st. On April 28th, the day of the meltdown, solar provided 59% of electricity. Wind about 12%, and nuclear and gas approximately 22%. But providing reliable electricity to the people with the intermediate renewables. Let me see if this sucks a lot. Right, not happening regularly or continuously. All right. It says renewables such as wind and solar is more difficult than with baseload power, such as coal, natural gas, and nuclear power. Right. So basically going on, they throw out their lies and just, BS and whatnot. Basically, they're saying prepare for what happened in Spain to come to America. Right. America has been untouched for a while now. We're at the end now where she's about to be getting touched a lot. This is another post off X. It says the U.S. may lose power. Now, this was posted May 3rd at 12:04 p.m. right? It says the U.S. may face widespread power outages this summer, similar to what happened in Spain, warned Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum. See, it says we saw what happened this week in Spain. The same could happen in America this summer, Burgum said in an interview with Fox News. So why are they saying that? They put it out there. So it's a possibility. Says the minister noted that the U.S. is currently facing significant problems with power generation and placed the blame for this on the previous administration. So they're blaming Biden, but at the end of the day, Esau could come down with this, right? And this could start basically everything. It could start Jacob's trouble. It could start the issuing forth of the MOTB, right? And that could be it. It's Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Right? And exactly, when there's no power, right, and there's no food, right, and there's no no source of information, because also what? Hey, the Lord's gonna take his prophets away. You think we're gonna be out there in the dark with flashlights and candles and shit trying to teach you something? No. It says Amos 8 and 11, "Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh." See, that's the point. But guess what? This famine of bread and water is coming, because once the power go out, it's all going bad. The food's going bad, the water's going bad, right? Can't get clean. They run out very quick. It says, and they, who is that? The people that's not seeking early. The scriptures say, seek me early, seek the Lord early while he may be found. Amos 8 and 12, it says, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it." See, that's the point, because, the time to get the word is now, right? And once you can't get it and the power is out and there's no food, you're going to be doing this. Verse 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men," right? And it's something that's happening here and there. They're trying to rise up against the government. You got a lot of the good old Proud Old Boys, turning their flags upside down and turning it black, and, all these different things that they're doing to show that they're angry. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Hey, so that, they're going to do what they do. And Job what is it? Job 20 tells us that, the hand of the wicked shall come upon Esau Edom when he's about to fill his belly. Right? That's the laborers, the workers, the same people that's turning their flags upside down right now. The same people that's getting fired. You got 30,000 UPS. You got stores closing. Hey, these people, the workers, is struggling. Job 20 and 22, it says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits." So in the fullness of Esau's system being implemented, he shall be in straits, right? Which is a position of difficulty, right? Which is good. We pray for difficulty for these banking elites and these devils that run the world, right? It says, "Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him," right? And this word wicked goes into labor, right? The working class individuals. It says, right. It says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able," for many reasons. You will have foreign governments, military men out. You will have, of course, people probably blocking off areas, killing in the city. You want to go in the city, but all you hear in there is dogs, lions, tigers, and bears, and guns, and women screaming, babies crying, and, all type of stuff. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Yeah, it's going to be a horrible time. It says, "A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." See, so that famine of bread and water will come. See, and this is going to be time. And some way that they can bring that in is a power outage that lasts a while, to the point where now your stomach is grumbling. Once the power go out and your stomach start grumbling and there's no food, you're going to look for food. It says, "Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them." See, and that's what's happening here in these last days too. they're being gathered for World War III. This is another reason why Esau knows he has but a short time, and he's moving with great speed to try to, bring in his new world order, his new system, where he may chip the people, and make them perpetual slaves. So he thinks that's his way out. It says so he's gonna move, right? The power's gonna cut off. He's gonna make people struggle, and he's gonna try to give them, the MOTB, which is the charagma, to save them. It says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Awashai, right? So what? Just like Esau Edom is saying here, trying to destroy us, the Israelites, and poisoning us, and all manner of different things that he has done to us, mental damage and all of that stuff. The Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is going to do that to him. Right, and that's the time we're living in. So, that was just an update, blowing the trumpet on this guy, saying that Black House may come in summer of 2025, right? So the hopeful elect has the readiness of mind to know, the times that we're living in, that the days are evil, Hey, so Lord willing, the video has been edifying to you. I'll say shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.